How do you come on after a drone delivery, right?
Yeah.
We should have come in by drones, but Bobby, I think that you should come to Singapore because our weather is really boring and predictable. And I think you do really well there. But
Hoon, I could use a cappuccino right now. Do you think he can fly underneath the...
We'll try that. Apparently his biggest delivery is hot coffee. So Anyway, let's focus on our panel. So there is a Chinese saying, when the wind of change blows, some build walls while others build windmills. So this session is dedicated to those who have built windmills during the toughest times in travel, so that they can continue to make it easy for travelers to buy, plan, dream, and travel.
So Phocuswright and Wit started these panels under the Bridge series as a way to build a bridge between different parts of the world. And we wanted to unearth product innovations that are emerging in different parts of the world so we could all learn from each other. And I think we've been successful at that. We've had Ross a couple of times participate, and I think we've learned a lot about how to go from east and west and into the middle and learn about product innovations in different markets. So Hoon, you could call it our windmills.
Yeah, that's right, And so let's begin with Ross, who's our chief windmill builder in the Middle East. And let's have a slide of our Wego first so that we get some context into its business. And Ross, if you can talk about the product innovations that you've made in the last 3 months, because I think you've been absolutely super busy the last 3 months.
Yeah, okay. So last 3 months or so, I think like most of us in online travel, we've been sort of like digging deep into everything that's going on with like neural nets and large language models. And sort of high priority for us at the moment is building a sort of natural language voice interface to our mobile app. And the objective is to be able to have a user interact with it using sort of be like as if you're sitting over a desk from an expert travel agent, to be able to sort of interact in that basis. So it's a combination of a remote to all the functionality that our app already has built into it, plus all the extra knowledge from all the APIs that we haven't yet surfaced in the app, plus all everything that the large language model knows about the world generally, and then sort of trying to sort of figure out how to configure that. We've a couple other interesting things. So actually inspired by our friends at Alibaba, but also sort of Baidu and Tencent, we took the mini app frameworks from the three big Chinese tech companies. Created a version of that for Wego that allows us to remotely sort of update features in our app, sort of push it and still run it at like native performance levels. So it gives us a lot more flexibility. So that's been that's already live. We're in the process of now exposing it to our partners so that our partners can sell stuff in our marketplace and sort of design the experience end to end around our APIs without us having to.
So taking the same model from China where you got the WeChat mini app and Fliggy mini store, and all that.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how now we're, maybe 10, 15 years ago, we saw a lot of technology developed in the US. It was kind of copied and carried over to China, and now we're starting to kind of flip the script a little bit where, some of this technology is being developed in China and, kind of copied and taken over in other markets.
I mean, I think China, in terms of anything to do with mobile apps, is like a decade ahead of the West.
It's true. Yeah, although it's been interesting, we haven't seen a super app developed in the U.S., and that's something that obviously has a lot of traction in China. So let's shift to you, Philip. One of your product innovations that you're working on is the flagship store. Can you kind of expand on that? And I'll bring up your slide so you can maybe explain to the audience a little bit about what you're working on.
Sure, thanks, Pete. So the slide gives you a kind of an overall number of our business, but in particular, actually to Ross's point earlier, what we try to do is we have different stores operated by different owners. For example, flagship store is actually an opportunity we have created for airlines and hotels for direct to Chinese consumer opportunity. So what happens is in the airline world, you have airlines that wanted to do NDC, issuing direct sales, issuing ticket on airline ticket stock. We do provide a playground for airlines to operate their own stores. Now, if the airline wants to run a campaign, special promotion, it's all at the airline's power to do so. And also on the hotel side, for example, we have a really good partnership with Marriott. So Marriott actually operates a flagship store on Fliggy, and we actually label that as Marriott's second official website in China. So it's probably one of the few, if not only OTAs, where you could book a Marriott hotel. You could actually accumulate room nights, your points, and use your perks for the booking you had on Fliggy. Thanks to that relationship with Marriott, I would think it's a pretty innovative direct-to-consumer opportunity for both airlines and hotels.
Okay, and so you also have two other products which I felt was interesting because we are seeing it come out in other parts of the world, like all-you-can-fly passes, for example, right? And then last-minute seats. Talk to us about that all-you-can-fly, because I'm seeing that come up in Japan as well now with a startup called Kabuku, and you pay 3 months and then you can fly anytime. You can fly 3 flights within 3 months, and you don't really know where you're going. You're just buying the flight. So talk to us about your all-you-can-fly passes.
Yeah, so our parent company owns the largest e-commerce platform in China. So we've always been educated with a lot of innovative ideas with physical goods. Now, our challenge was how do we turn those ideas into travel, flight-related things? So a few examples Siew mentioned is the all-you-can-fly pass, last-minute pass. So what it is, as you probably already know, China's been in a COVID lockdown for the last 3 years. So very minimum international travel, and and there's sporadic lockdowns domestically, so a lot of people couldn't go anywhere. So what we did to help out with the airline is we actually talked to a few airlines. For certain ones, we actually used our technology to tap into the airline's PSS to create direct bookings on behalf of the airlines. So what we did is, there are sporadic lockdowns in different parts of China, but we know there are passengers that wanted to go to different places. So what we did is say, why don't we just do an all-you-can-fly pass? You could have different tiers, different pricing levels for people to have a flexible selection of destinations, different fare segments, and just pre-sell it. And you never know when somebody wants to go to different places at a certain time when the lockdown is over. So we did we actually combined those products with our major campaigns. Singles Day Double 11, as people probably already know. We sold a ton of the all-you-can-fly passes, and people love it. As for the last-minute pass, for folks here that understand airline inventory, you have a lot of routes that have very low demand. On the day of departure, you're probably flying out at a 50-60% load factor. So to counter that problem, what we did is we talked to airlines like, hey, why don't you give us a list of your projected to be low demand routes and let us know. So we actually packaged all the routes into something like a mystery box. So we pre-sold those mystery boxes to users and only allowing them to open it up 2 days before departure on those low demand routes. And people bought it because we're selling them dirt cheap to a lot of people. And people open it 2 days before departure. Hey, I'm getting on a flight to Xi'an. Why not? We'll just take a weekend trip to Xi'an. So that, on one hand, it helps us with sales, with customer confidence, and on the other side, it really helped a lot of Chinese airlines to increase their load.
Okay.
It's interesting. I wonder if some of this is about the traveler in China, because Karen, we're going to get to you in a sec, but I'm not sure. And a lot of air carriers have tried it in the U.S., launching an all-you-can fly pass, and it's had a fraction of the adoption. And I think it is maybe more spontaneity with the Chinese traveler. What do you think about that?
So Chinese travelers have a mentality of stock up on things. Double 11 Singles Day, mid-year shopping, 618. Those are very well-known shopping festivals. People just go in and do a lot of impulse buys.
Yeah.
So we try to, they buy a lot of physical goods, but on the other hand, it's like, hey, you're gonna need to buy some, hotel rooms or flights for the next year or for the next quarter. Why don't you come to Fliggy and stock them up? On the other hand, we work with the airlines to create those innovative products.
Interesting. So Karen, let's shift to you. So you're responsible for the technology and products of primarily your white label solutions or your B2B products. So can you talk a little bit about, you've been at Expedia for what, 15 years or so.
Right.
Can you talk about kind of the product roadmap through your career at Expedia and maybe some of the things that you've been working on over the last year or so?
Yes, I have been in travel tech for over 2 decades, so I love travel and I love tech. And whenever you hear the word Expedia Group, a lot of times what you think of are really those consumer sites, those brands. But we have a very large B2B business. You probably would have seen a few weeks ago, we talked about revenue for this segment. It is up 55% compared to 2022. So it is a huge area of investment for Expedia. And I am very fortunate that I have got to work in this part of our business. So one of the things that I am most excited about that we're working on, and that is our rapid lodging API. Now, our APIs have powered OTAs for several years, and our APIs are built on the Expedia Group travel platform. And the really cool thing is, no matter what sort of changes that we're making, we want to make sure that all of our partners and all of our travelers get that benefit. And so one thing that we realized with Rapid is, actually, we were only releasing features every 6 months. We were bundling them up and we were releasing them every 6 months. And we saw an opportunity. All of our partners need this innovation. They need it faster. And so that's where we moved to an evolving framework. And so with this evolving framework, all of these features that are being built as part of our platform, being made available for our travelers and our partners, they're now ready immediately. Developers can adopt them right away.
So it's on demand.
That's right, exactly. So every month, all the time, we're releasing new features. And so that's really, really exciting.
Okay.
We are working with more and more partners, more and more segments, big partners, large partners. You would have seen a couple of months ago, we announced a partnership with Wheel the World. So Wheel the World is a travel platform, and they are making travel accessible for people with disabilities. And they're doing that with the Rapid API, which is super cool.
Right.
And then the second area that we're working on in our B2B product roadmap, and that is TAP. TAP is our travel agent affiliate program. So these are a set of booking tools that are designed specifically for those offline travel advisors. And we're doing a whole bunch of investment and a whole bunch of work there. This is a very important segment for us. And for these travel advisors, we're launching live agent chat. We're launching better shopping experiences. And so we're really excited about all of that.
Right. Wheel the World actually won our global startup pitch competition last year. They were the first winner, so really excited to hear about the growth and how they can really scale with the Rapid API.
Yep.
So now we're going to bring the audience into it, and I'm going to put you all on the spot because Ross made some predictions at WIT Singapore last October, actually, and we're going to get you to react to his predictions, go down if you disagree with him, whatever. So the first one, it's a no-brainer in a way, but he said the convergence of AI and product will change everything, okay? So clap if you believe it's a complete exaggeration, or clap if you think this is an understatement. So over-exaggeration? You can clap too. Does anybody want to bet on this, or is it the complete understatement? The convergence of complete understatement. All right, okay.
Okay, so AI ML capabilities will continue to develop at exponential rates, and this is going to shock most people. How shocked are you on a scale of 1 to 10? So maybe let's start with the low end of the scale. Who's at 3?
Why don't we ask Karen, how shocked are you?
How shocked are you?
Oh, goodness. I would say I am a 7 or an 8. I think this is, the growth has been really remarkable.
Yeah.
We've been using AI in ML, though, for a long time.
Yeah.
But again, like generative AI, this is really going to accelerate it.
Ross?
Yeah, same. I think
7 to 8?
we've been good old-fashioned machine learning for a couple of years now, but and I knew this stuff was coming, but even then, I'm still like blown away by what's possible all of a sudden.
I would say we're at 3 to 4 right now in terms of real application.
Okay.
But my expectation is at least 7 or 8.
Okay, does anybody want to shout an answer from the audience? Just shout a number. 9. Okay, we got a 9. I got a 10 here. All right. So AI-driven product features will be widespread across the online travel industry, unlike today. But the question is, what percentage? 30%, 50%, or 80%? Philip, we go with you.
80%.
80%.
Yeah, 70, 80.
Okay.
I'd say,
80.
yeah, about 80.
All right. Everybody agree? Okay.
By 2030, products will be finally personalized. Pick your date. So I think we started research on this maybe back in 2012, and I don't think we're quite there yet. What do you think, Philip?
2030.
2030.
Yeah, probably before that.
Before that,
I would
okay.
say.
Yeah, I think well before, but it's funny. I've been coming along to online travel conferences for probably 20 years, and personalization's always been a major theme.
Yeah.
And it's of all the travel products I use, very few of them are in any way significantly personalized yet. So I think next couple of years it'll actually happen.
Is it Gen AI that's really going to accelerate that?
It's not Gen AI, but it is machine learning.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is conversational. I know you're working on a natural human agent. You're working on human agent.
Right.
If you tried the therapy app called Replica, which is an AI companion, it is truly intimate to you. So conversational agents will be good enough to be used widely for shopping and service. That means fully remove the human from the equation, predict a date. Philip.
In about 3 to 5 years.
Okay, Ross?
I think about 12 months.
12 months?
Yeah, we do so much already, particularly for more routine tasks. I think some of those complex scenarios, that's where we really need to kind of get a lot better with what our conversational agents can do. And I think some people just prefer human interaction.
But when can we
travel
remove
can be
humans
nuanced.
fully from that
Just
equation?
completely,
Yes.
completely. So it's optional. Like if I want to talk to someone, I
Okay.
can. I would say a couple years.
All right.
If I look at all the stuff that our call center people deal with today, I think 80% of it is going to be automated.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the 20% we'll still have humans to help.
Okay. Let's move on to product innovations, I think. Yeah?
Yeah,
Because
so-
we're
so
running short on time.
I think, Ross, we're going to start with you here.
Yeah.
So product innovations in your pipeline. So what are the things that you're working on right now that you're going to roll out over the next year or two?
Okay. So Wego's a marketplace. We're also a seller in that marketplace. And a lot of the pricing we do with our products today is all rules-based. But we're building sort of capabilities to do it all sort of real time now based on what's happening in the marketplace. So we'll use it for ourselves, but we'll also make it available for all the other sellers in our marketplace.
Okay.
So it's easy to say, hard to implement, but I think it's going to be quite
You should get some advice
transformational.
from Fliggy, I suppose, because that's what they do, right?
We study Fliggy closely.
We are a marketplace as well, and we sell on that marketplace as well.
All right.
Yeah, so that's taking a lot. We're also building or actually have built sort of I guess this is a bit boring, but it's like an A/B testing framework that goes all the way through from the front end right back to the servers and so that we can A/B test anything. So from cosmetic stuff on the front end to sort of algorithms on the back end, and it's connected to our own internal sort of analytics system. So relatively boring, but really, really powerful. So.
All right. Maybe Karen? Let's
Yeah.
talk about what you're building. What are the product innovations you're working on that you're
Yes.
excited about?
Oh, yes, no. I love technology, so I am excited about many, many things happening within Expedia. I talked a little bit about our rapid lodging API. We are right now piloting a new API, and this is revenue performance insights. So Expedia's revenue performance tools, they've already, been available in the industry for lodging partners to kind of, improve their pricing strategy. But what we're doing now is we're making it available in an API. We're taking this amazing, rich data that we have at Expedia, we're combining all of this other data, and we're really presenting kind of some robust insights to really help improve and drive that decision making. And so I think that's going to be super, super exciting, what everyone can do with that. I think probably the second thing is going to be optimized distribution. So optimized distribution, this is really a simpler way for lodging partners, chains, to be able to manage their wholesale rates. And what we're doing there, we already work with about 30 different chains, but we're actually expanding this now. We're offering it to lots and lots more chains, but we're also adding some capabilities, some finer grain controls around how you expose those wholesale rates, and really putting that strategy in the hands of the chain so they can decide, hey, this is how and where I want to surface these rates.
Right. Do you see a time when your B2B business will be bigger than your B2C business? Because you've seen 55% growth on the B2B, right?
Yes. I am part of the B2B business, and so I am extremely optimistic that it will. But yes, certainly I think there's a very important role for both our retail sites as well as all of our partners.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about sustainability, right? Because that's a big topic in Europe, clearly. And I wanted to pull out one of the product innovations that Fliggy is working on, which comes from the Ant Group. So tell us about the Ant Forest program.
Yeah, so in simple words, it's a tree building project. So for those of you who don't know, there's a program, a nonprofit program in China called Ant Forest. It was started by Ant Group, the owner of Alipay. So what it does is it actually builds real trees on behalf of users who engage in low emission activities. So what happens is, so Alipay is one of the super apps in China. For everything you do, if it's low emission, you could collect what's called a green energy points. So once you've accumulated enough of those points, you can actually use the app to build trees. And Ant Forest has built more than 300 million trees since the start of the program. They normally build trees in rural area of China, in Gansu province, Inner Mongolia, those places. So each tree that you actually build has a unique identifier. So if you actually travel to that part of China, you can actually find out of the 300 million trees, you can actually find the tree you built with your green energy points. So your question is probably like, what is Fliggy doing with Ant Forest with travel products? So what we're doing is we have actually engaged in a few airlines. We've launched with one of the Chinese carriers. Is when a customer chooses to waive onboard meal, or if you waive your check-in luggage and when it's given to you for free, or if you choose one of the biofuel flights or a fuel-efficient aircraft, a Dreamliner or a A350. You will get those green energy points, which could be potentially used to build additional trees in China. And it's been pretty successful with the Chinese carrier, and this year we'll be launching that with a few international carriers that operates nonstop flights to China.
Okay, 3.5 million trees. Let's go on to the future to wrap up. So very quickly, what's the technology that you're keeping a close watch on? Other than ChatGPT, other than generative AI. So Ross, what's the technology that's really exciting you?
Yeah, I mean, no surprises, AI generally. So trying to figure out how to play in the extension space for ChatGPT, but also Bing and Google to come, and all the other sort of AI assistants, which are going to become the new gatekeepers or significant new gatekeepers. Okay. So I've got teams on that. We talked about building the conversational interface. Everybody's talked about speech as a as a UI at these events for years. I think it's about to actually have its moment.
Okay.
And then sort of how to best use all these technologies, to actually embed and build and sort of enhance capabilities within our existing products. So that's a major focus for us.
How about you, Philip? What are you looking at into the future?
I think more collaborations with NGOs in the flight travel industry. I'd like to mention again, China has 14% of capacity of all the airplanes that are flying in the world. So there's a huge initiative, huge task ahead of us in promoting low emission activities when there's travel involved.
How about on the tech front?
On the tech front, I have to circle back to generative AI and ChatGPT again. I don't know if there are any airline folks here. If you use ChatGPT, and if you know what the fare rules are, what filing categories are, copy the entire page of a fare filing into ChatGPT and ask it to display a standardized refund and change rule. You would be surprised how accurate ChatGPT is. We have put this into production. Obviously, we can't rely 100% on that result, but it provides a really, really good second set of eyes to what our system is doing today. This way, customer would always know what are the penalties are if I have to change or cancel my ticket. I think that's helped us a big time already with ChatGPT.
So it seems to me that all roads to the future kind of lead to generative AI. So shall we end with our game, because
yes,
out of time.
we should.
Yeah. Okay, let's end with a game. Yeah.
Okay, so the game is which image is AI generated and which image is real. Karen, let's start with you on this one.
You can see it there too.
Yeah.
So who says the woman is real or false? What do you think? Which one is false? Which one is fake?
I'm saying the woman's fake.
You saying the woman
Yep.
is fake?
Ross?
Same.
Ross?
Same.
Fake?
The woman's fake.
Everybody agrees the woman is fake? Okay.
The woman is real.
The woman is real!
I told you I was going to give it
You're all wrong. Okay. Next one. Okay. Which one is real? Which one is fake? Quickly. You gotta think like AI. Be quick.
Fake.
Fake? The girl with the long hair is fake? Okay.
I think the woman's real.
I'm saying
The woman
woman's
is real?
too.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going.
Well, actually, you're wrong, because this one is real. The helmet is real. Okay, the last one. Last one. Okay. Is the baby real or fake, or is the guy real or fake? What? Do we hear any answers from that?
Baby's fake.
Yeah.
Baby's fake. Ross?
Yeah, baby's fake.
Baby's fake.
The guy's fake.
The guy's fake.
Because I think the baby is fake. I've been wrong 2 times already.
Me too.
Well, you know what? Ross and Karen got it right. The baby
Oh, we
is
got
fake, even though it's the cutest
Nice.
baby, but it is fake. So thank you so much for joining us on this panel. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ross. Thank
Thanks,
you, Karen.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Cool.